Good morning, Greg here, burning at both ends, burning on the front end of May 28th, 2018. It's Memorial Day. It's about 6:06 a.m. Pacific. Excited to start the day. Loving today's topic, very simple, but at the same time, I'm just really psyched to kind of document some things about my kids. And then I got my bubbly water. You'll notice no Meyer lemon. This is I infused some water with Meyer lemon yesterday and then carbonated it. So like the flavor a little bit better that way. I can really dial in the amount of Meyer lemon I get. So, but anyway, small details, but these small details do matter. So let's jump right into today's topic, and it was definitely today's topic was inspired by last night, which is number one on the list. And so this is the top 10 awesome things about my kids. I like doing these top 10 things about my family and the things close to me because it really puts me in gratitude, puts me in a good mindset. Great thing to think about on the beginning of the week. And so, and I just want to show gratitude toward my kids, honor some of their incredible things, some of the incredible things about them, and how they make my life better, how they, force me to up my game. And so this list is all about the things that my kids are doing right now. So this is not a historical documentation. It doesn't go back in time too far. It's more a snapshot right now of cool things that they do, and things that I find inspirational and really wonderful to watch. For those that have kids, you get this. For those that don't, maybe you'll experience this later on in life. But to watch your kids, or for me to watch my kids do something really cool, it's very inspirational. All right, so let's get right into it. And this is also in the order that I think of it, and it tends to be a great order no matter how that happens. So, number one, witnessing nights like last night. So we had Art and Jen over for dinner. They came over, they cooked us some pasta. It was phenomenal. They brought over some bolognese. Oh, it was just delicious. It was definitely worth breaking my paleo for. We just had a great time just chilling out, chatting, connecting, talking about all kinds of things. And my kids, they can be somewhat shy, but then they can kind of break out of their little shyness and then go in the complete other direction and just totally engage our guests. And last night was one of those nights where there was just silliness, there was running and playing, and my kids were talking with Art and Jen and just and playing with them and being silly, and it was almost over the top, and it was very cool to watch. It's very cool for me to see my kids bond with some of my friends. So I really appreciate that, and just great to see that excitement and silliness come out. I think that's important. Number two, we biked to school, and I've included a picture in the outline. I love biking. I love biking to work, and I really enjoy the fact that my kids pick up biking. We did the whole balance bike thing. I think that's the key to a kid learning early on is the balance bike. Both my daughters did the balance bike first, and the very first time they really tried to ride a two-wheeler, they figured it out. And it's not so much that they just got right on and started pedaling. It's just that they knew exactly when they were going to fall because they had the balance thing already locked in. And so they avoided those initial falls that kind of ruined the first attempt, right? That create too much pain, literally. And both of them started biking by the time they were about 3.5. So they started the balance bike at about 2. I remember it being a little bit difficult to get them into the balance bike. I showed them YouTube videos of other kids on them, just to turn a light bulb on in their minds and see how to actually ride this thing. But they both picked it up, and then they picked up the two-wheeler, and now we're biking to work. Biking to school. I bike to work, and I just really enjoy it. I really enjoy seeing them biking and learning how to cross streets and work with cars and things like that. So very cool. Number 3, on the mobility tip. So my mother got them both roller skates, very traditional white roller skates, and so they put the skates on and they roller skate around the house. And we have this loop that they can do on hardwood, and it's really cool to see them do it. And they play and they giggle and they fall and they hurt themselves, but they get back up and they keep trying. It's amazing how I find the pain of those falls doesn't seem to be as painful as what I know are less painful falls. I mean, some of those are pretty nasty. You bang your elbow on a hardwood floor or what have you, but they get right back up and keep trying, and they're getting really good at roller skating. in this process, and it's just fun to watch. So let's focus on the oldest. I'm going to go back and forth, oldest, youngest, just to pick some specifics out. So on my oldest, watching her pick out clothes at Ross or pick out toys at a toy store. She's got 2 things or 3 things, and she's, going through some decision-making process, and to watch her do that is really kind of cool. The questions that she asks, the things that come up, she's starting to learn about money and price point and things like that. And what I try to do when she's in those situations is I try to put her, maybe a week in the future and say, okay, so you bought this one and now you're home and you've worn it a couple times. Think about what that's like. Think about why you'd wear it, or the toy, about how you'd play with it. Is this a long-term toy, or is this something you're going to put down after just a half an hour? So, and just watching her go through that decision-making process is very cool. My youngest, so she has, so she just turned 4, so she's recently started like transitioning from just saying random things to trying to tell a story. And so she started her storytelling, and she gets, she's got this like little 3 or 4 sentence stories that she tells. I will admit, they largely make no sense, but it's cool to see her. You can see her trying to figure out how to say these things, and that's cool. That yearning to figure it out is very, very inspiring and very important that we're seeing that. So, number 6, back to the oldest, this monkey bar obsession that she has. She goes every morning. We go to we go to school. We have about 10 or 15 minutes to play on the playground. She hits the monkey bars. She hits them hard. If she's there for 10 minutes, she's monkey barring for a solid 10 minutes. Almost nonstop. And she's got these blisters all over her hands that must hurt, but she keeps going. It's awesome to see that. Doesn't seem to get in the way. And it's almost like a badge that the kids wear, their blisters. They show each other their blisters and they pick them and they talk about them. So, like seeing that. Number 7, my youngest. She can be such a busybody when she just plays by herself. And she does that a lot. She does this thing where she has these little stories that she tells on her fingers, where each finger's a different character. It's kind of hard to follow what's going on, but it's really fun to watch. And then she also does this thing where she walks around with our stroller, and she'll like outfit the stroller with various things. And she's very particular about where she goes in the house and what things go in the stroller and what things cannot go in the stroller. And the whole time she's doing this, she's also having this like self-conversation out loud, like talking to these things that she's putting in the stroller, whether they're stuffed animals or books, and how they're going to be used. And then she hangs things on the handles of the stroller. It's just very particular, and it's fun to watch her do that. Number 8, now back to both of them, watching them eat together, right? Whether it's breakfast or dessert, those are 2 that they typically do together. Especially like, in the morning before school, and just to hear the conversation that comes up over breakfast. It's because now that my youngest is starting to storytell, there starts to be this interaction above that's just more than just, we're eating Cheerios or we're having waffles or whatever it is. So it's really fun to see that. And I'm trying to use my lavaliers. I'm trying to mic them up and capture some of those conversations, but I find that thing, like once you go to observe something, you kind of ruin it. I find that happens because now the focus is on the microphones and what's daddy doing, as opposed to just their kind of candid conversation. But I do want to try to capture some of that, because that banter is just really cool. Number 9, watching them watch a movie together, especially when they get really engaged and they really love the movie, and just to see the 2 of them like cuddling and staring at the movie and just completely just together and bonding over that. Movies, we shouldn't be doing too much movies, but it's really cute to see them like sitting together, kind of embracing each other, watching a movie. I like that. And then number 10, and this one is like this thing where as a parent, as a father, it just really just makes you just so proud of your kids. So when I see my oldest reach out and help my youngest, and then also in the other way around, when I see my youngest reach out and help my oldest, and to see it in that genuine space, not when mom or dad ask them to help, but just to see that genuine help come out and that genuine service come out, I think that's just awesome. So Let me think about it, if I can think of some recent things. I mean, typically it's just something like, my youngest loses something or breaks something accidentally, and then my oldest goes and gives her hers, the one that she has, or a second one and gets her a second one and gives her a hug. Sometimes, my oldest can get hurt and she'll start crying or something, and then my youngest will come over and give her a hug, try to help her out. I just think, so those are two specific examples of that really just break my heart, and I love seeing that. So it makes me proud as a father. So that's the list. So just gratitude, honoring my kids. I have to admit, I would have never known how much fun and work, how much hard work kids would be before I had them. Definitely opens my eyes to like how I organize my life, how I set my priorities, because now we have family priorities that trump my own priorities. Definitely want to hold on to some things that are just mine. I think that's important as a parent. So that way it's not, yes, it's all about the kids, but I still have my own things that I do. This burn at both ends is part of that. Just so I can make sure that my own life moves forward. I think that's important as a parent. And so subscribe if you like what you hear. And this channel is all about me and my life, and I'm this aspiring entrepreneur. I'm going on this journey, and these are the things that are coming up. These are the things that I'm seeing, the things that I'm thinking about, things that I'm using. I'm thinking a lot about this channel and how it's going to morph and change as I move through this, as I get through this initial kind of round of content that I've built in the last 10 years of starting my own business and becoming an entrepreneur and moving in that direction. The engineering, the music, the food, right? So I'm going to have this initial wave of posts with all this content that I've learned, but then, at some point we're going to pivot the channel. I'm thinking about that right now. I want to see how I want to pivot. I want to see what platforms I might want to, I'm going to include, I'm doing the Ends platform. I'm going to be adding Instagram. I guess the delicate balance I want to walk is I'm obviously still going to be doing the burn at both ends schedule, right? The 5 a.m. to midnight, 5 hours of sleep thing. There's no doubt. I'm really digging that. I really feel empowered by that. It's a matter of how can I convey that through these platforms once I kind of get through this initial round of content for the YouTube channel. How are the postings going to change? Because what I'm seeing showing up is I'm seeing a great focus on this channel, but then I'm seeing some real work show up, and I want to make sure I have time for that. As far as my channel goes right now, it takes me about an hour to make each of these posts, and so that's 2 hours a day. Not that I can't put that time in, but I'm starting to think, is that time better spent working on some of these projects that are showing up to make sure that I have time to push those down the road. And so that's where I'm at right now, is what does the pivot look like as I get through this initial wave of content. And so that's what the channel is about. I want to hear your story. I want to hear what you're going through. Please ask me for help. Ask me solve problems. I love solving problems. And I want to be of service, because that's kind of the whole point of this channel is this is the things that are working in my life. How can I help you in yours? That kind of thing. There are some motivational videos linked down in the description. Check those out. Those really got me to this level this year. And then if you like the beats in the background, check those out. That's G Money. That's my alter ego. I've been playing drums for a couple decades now, and I write these drum songs, so you can listen to them for free on SoundCloud. I've also linked an awesome DJ set that I'm really into. Well, this DJ overall, DJ Tasha Blank. She's down there. Has a lot of material on SoundCloud, so you can check her out. Really into dancing. I just dig the vibe that she puts out in her music, so I'm really enjoying that right now. So that's today's post. You have a great Memorial Day. Definitely be of gratitude to folks that fought and died for our country. I think that's really important. And have a great day. Inspire some folks and crush the week. Talk soon.